Yo, it's L.
Year 0, Earth is discovered. Years 1 to 1900, bunch of stuff happens. Dinosaurs, cavemen, they take each other out. Ice Age or 2, millions years of evolution. Bunch of Europeans paint things, sitting around talking and calling it philosophy. Couple world wars, tons of normal wars. Pyramids and several other geometric-shaped things were built. 1901, the world map is fully unlocked. The modern age begins. International travel becomes a thing. 1954, color is introduced into the world via color television set devices. September 1964, Operation Snake Eater takes place. January 4th, 1967, the greatest rock band of all time, The Doors, released their first album. 1985, Super Mario is born. September 29th, 1996, Alanis Morissette ends her first US tour in Houston, Texas. The Nintendo 64 is released in North America. Super Mario 64 takes the world by storm. Sonic the Hedgehog becomes an alcoholic after his defeat, never makes a good game again. October 3rd, 2012, I made a bagel, but it was too hot, so I had to throw it out.
Super Mario 64. What is there to say about this game that hasn't been said already? It needs no introduction. Most people have played it. If not, they've heard of it. And I've been playing it at this point for most of my life. But there's one thing that I always wanted to do in the game. And that's being able to use any of the caps whenever and wherever I wanted. It would just be so cool to put on the metal cap. Or, if I want, the vanish cap. And whenever I needed to fly, the wing cap. Now, I was thinking, wouldn't this just break the game? Couldn't I just fly to every star? Well, in this video, I'm going to go through each level on the first floor, including Bowser, and I'm going to see what stars are easier to get with the caps and what kind of difference they really make. Now, I know what you're thinking. How is it that I'm able to do this? And the answer is pretty simple. I wanted to try stuff out before I headed inside. For example, if I put the flying hat on right before the third jump, I still fly. And as you could have guessed, if I take it off before the jump, I end up not flying. I wanted to see if the metal cap took fall damage. I couldn't remember if it did or not, but I figured now's a good time to see if it did. I wanted to try and fly onto the roof. I wanted to see if it was possible, and it looks like I was just going to hit the slanted part, which means if I landed on it, I would just slide off. I wanted to jump off the elevated part of the bridge, just so I had a bit more height, and same thing. I don't know if it is possible or not, but it wasn't really worth it, so I wanted to see if I could enter through the grates using the vanish cap. This one doesn't look like I could enter. Now, you'd think that means I couldn't enter the next one, but I figured, why not try it out, because you never know. So I put on the vanish cap, and yeah, doesn't look like I was getting through. So I decided to try using the door that leads to the basement. Now, I know the water's still up, so I don't know if it's possible to go through or not, but figured I might as well try. And it looks like, yeah, I'm not getting through at all. Oh well. I know I couldn't enter the other grates, but I decided to try this one. And yeah, doesn't look like I was getting through. So I used a vanish cap to see if I could avoid Lakitu, but looks like he noticed me. I can use the wing cap to avoid him, and it's pretty funny just seeing him sitting here. I come inside, I fly around a little bit, I even try to fly into the Princess Peach glass. I put on the vanish cap to see if I could get through, but it doesn't look like I could. There wasn't anything left to explore, so I decided to enter the first level, Bomb-omb Battlefield. So the level starts off, I use the flying cap to try to get up here on the ledge, then I go for the star that requires you to free the chain chomp. Using the vanish cap, I try to enter, but doesn't look like I can. So I decide to go for the red coins. With a metal cap, the chain chomp doesn't hurt me, and I grab the first red coin. Next I grab the one across from the chain chomp. I then see if I use the metal cap and defeat a Goomba, if they'll drop a different coin, like a blue one, instead of the normal yellow ones. It doesn't look like they do. I fly over and grab the red coin above the rock, then the two by the group of Goombas, the one under the stone archway. The red cap comes in handy to grab the red coin. And if you were wondering, you can walk up the slope. It requires the metal cap, and it's a complete waste of time. You're honestly better off probably just going around. Finally, I fly out to the island in the sky and grab the last red coin. Then I grab the star, and that's my first star of the run. Next up, freeing the chain chomp. If I just put the vanish cap on, he goes right through me. It makes getting this star super easy, barely an inconvenience. Look at that. I didn't even have to break a sweat. Now, I'm gonna head for the floating island in the sky, and I'm making my way up. I accidentally do a ground pound, and it just so happens to be right there, causing me to fall, and I had to make my way up again. It wasn't too bad though. I take to the air and fly to the island. That was easy, just open up this box, grab the star, and there we go. On my way up the summit to fight Big Bomb-omb, I found if I had the vanishing cap on, I could go right through these cannonballs. Now, it doesn't work on the boss, and he does throw me, luckily not very far, but I do make pretty quick work of him. Next up, the Koopa race. Being able to fly with the wing cap makes this race really easy. Check this out. I ended up waiting like 30 seconds for this guy to show up. Luckily, this doesn't count as cheating, and I get my star. So I only have one star left. All I have to do now is open the cannon and fly to the sky. I collect the first coin as I try to land. And after a few tries, I do eventually get all the coins. And I try to fly down to collect the star, but I was going in way too fast. I ended up taking a Goomba out, and then I got the star. And Bomb-omb Battlefield is complete. Well, the caps definitely came in handy this level. I imagine going forward, being able to use a metal cap and a vanishing cap to avoid damage or avoid contact with enemies, that's going to be useful like every level. And even being able to fly just makes getting all these stars a whole lot faster. Next up, I want to try Jolly Roger Bay. Mostly because it's a water level and I just want to get it out of the way. I do the secret level in the room that Jolly Roger Bay is in, and it doesn't take long. Just collect 8 red coins, and I use a metal cap to walk around and get the bottom ones. First star I go for in Jolly Roger Bay is the 8 red coins, using the wing cap to get the 3 that are normally on the boat. I just have to collect the underwater ones, then fly out and grab the star. The next star requires the cannon, but I think I'm just going to use a flying cap instead. Now, for those of you wondering how to get the eel to come out, just go in front of it, make sure he sees you, then surface, grab some air, come back down, and he'll be gone, or just leaving. Solve the little puzzle, get the star. Next, I just stand on the opening here, waiting for the eel to leave. Then grab the next star. I use the metal cap and grab the jet stream star. And while getting the next star, I found these falling pillars won't damage Metal Mario or come in contact with Vanishing Mario. Do another chest puzzle, get another star. And that's Jolly Roger Bay done. Don't really need any caps to get the first star. You can sort of jump across here and jump up and fight the boss. So, looks like the Vanish Cap doesn't work on this boss either. Luckily, he's not too difficult to defeat, and if you do a backwards flip like this and do a ground pound at the right time, you could sort of just slip right through him, making defeating him a whole lot easier. If you have the Vanish Cap on, bullet bills will go right through you. The star in a cage you can get pretty easily without the wing cap. If you just get up the tower, you can do a long jump across and get the star. It does take a little bit of practice, but with the wing cap, you can just fly from down here. Of course, making it a lot easier. The next star is sort of the same thing. There is a trick to get it early, but it is easier to use the wing cap. You can jump off this wall, and if you do it at the right angle, you can get up here, allowing you to get the star easier and quicker than waiting for the cannon to unlock. Next, I head to the top again, this time to get the star. Time for the red coins. I try and see if the Vanish Cap will allow me through, but it doesn't. Finish up the red coins. Next was the other star that involves the cannon. It does take a few tries to hit it, and then a few more tries to get it. But, like that, Whomp's Fortress is done. The wing cap definitely makes getting around a whole lot easier. For horizontal built levels, you can get across a lot faster. And vertical built levels, you can get to higher areas a lot easier. Next up, Cool Mountain. First is the baby penguin. No cap will really help, and I'll show you an easy way to do this. Jump over this ledge onto the slope. As you slide down, jump once or twice to reduce speed. Otherwise, you'll hit the ground, get stuck, and the penguin might walk up the slope. Then, you want to jump on this slanted wall. Use the joystick to try and guide your landing. Don't worry if you get stuck. If you're not too close to the edge, the penguin won't fall off. Bring it to the mom, get the star. So I know there is a shortcut, but after a few tries, I did manage to fly down to the last section using the wing cap. Luckily for me, it didn't count as cheating or anything, and the game gave me the star. For this next star, let me show you what I do. Long jump over this point, come down here, jump on this enemy, go down like this, land here, jump across here, jump up here, do a wall jump off this wall, and get the star. I tried using the wing cap to fly down, but I was gaining way too much speed, and it made it very difficult for me to try and control Mario, and there was no way I could land where I had to. But if you come down here, you could fly across if you wanted to. Next were the 8 red coins. Nothing too special, just use the wing cap to fly around, just get all the coins. I did find out if you use a vanishing cap, the snowmen won't damage you. Next is the race. So after a few tries, I was able to use a wing cap and fly down, saving so much time. But apparently, that's cheating. So I had to do this the old-fashioned way. And lastly, Snowman, Snowhead, or whatever it's called. It's super easy. Just do this. Slide down here. Just make sure you're not going too fast. And make sure you're standing behind him. And this will happen. And with that, we got all the stars in Cool Cool Mountain. Next, I tried the slide level. I do try and fly down, but it's very difficult. Like Cool Cool Mountain, you gain too much speed, and then you lose control of Mario. I did get the star for the faster time, and then I tried flying down one last time. And I actually managed to beat my record. Since I already got that star though, I grabbed the other one, and that's everything I needed for that stage. Before facing Bowser, I wanted to do the Boo level. I wanted to see if I could fly onto the small house out here, and then get onto the ledge that has a big Boo, but I couldn't get on the small house. Instead, I head inside, do a few jumps here and there, get a star. Next, I tried to fly over the wall while I was out here, but I couldn't. I did find if I use a vanish cap, I could go through the ghost, and if I wear the metal cap, it'll just insta-damage the enemy. I head back to the level, and I decide to go for the Vanishing Cap star. Do a wall jump here, get up, go through the door. Do a wall jump here, go through this door. Put on the Vanishing Cap, go through here, defeat the giant eye, get the star. I decide to mess with the ghost a bit. If I'm metal, they'll just walk into me and die. And if I'm vanishing and turn metal while I'm inside them, they die. But they're ghost, so maybe they're not really dead. Or really alive. My next star was the one that requires defeating all the ghosts. I tried to get on the house again, but that didn't go well, so I just finish off the rest of the ghost. Then I fight the boss ghost by being metal and walking into him. After busting on some ghost, I get the star. The next star I go for is the one in the basement. It's pretty easy, just make my way down to the Psycho Circus spinning room, and I just have to bump into the ghost while I'm metal. Pretty easy stuff. After defeating a bunch of them, the boss shows up, which again, pretty easy, just involves jumping into him while I'm metal. And that's that. The red coins were next. Using the Vanishing Cap, I can go through the evil piano. Doesn't work on the coffins though. Last but not least is a big boss fight. Which, as you probably guessed, is just jumping into him while metal. To get the star, normally you have to jump over to this ledge, get up here, and be careful not to slide off. But of course, with the wing cap, it's so much easier to just fly across. And with this star, it looks like Big Boo's haunt is done. Next, I decide what the hell, might as well do the flying level real quick. I get all the coins in one fell swoop, then I don't activate the switch because I'm too good for that. And now, time to enter Bowser's level. Out of curiosity, I see if I can get across the gap here and through the invisible wall. I try using the wing cap and the vanish cap, but doesn't look like I was getting through. So I enter the level, and the metal cap makes getting the red coin by the fire a lot easier. The wing cap, if timed correctly, can allow you to fly onto one of the rotating platforms. I tried to use a wing cap, but since the level here is on a slope, flying isn't that useful. I did see that these enemies don't damage me if I'm Metal Mario, and I can pass right through them as Vanishing Mario. When you're over here, you can long jump across this gap, so you don't really need the wing cap to get over there. But the wing cap does make getting the red coins a lot easier. I grab the last couple here, fool around with the wing cap, grab the red coin star, and now it's time to fight Bowser. I thought the metal cap would be overpowered. Turns out, the vanishing cap was. I could just walk right through Bowser and grab his tail. It makes this fight pretty much a piece of cake. Add in the fact I have the metal cap and he can't really damage me. I fly around the stage for a little bit, just trying to see if there's anything really out here, but there's nothing to see or do. And with that, the first Bowser stage comes to an end. So, while we all could have guessed having access to all the caps was going to be really helpful, I didn't know how exactly it was going to work. And it did work out the way I thought it would, but a little bit differently, if that makes any sense. For example, the vanishing cap. I thought it would be useful to be able to get through grates, certain walls, this and that, but that's not what happened. Instead, I was able to get through certain enemies or obstacles that I didn't think the vanishing cap would work on. Especially in levels where you're normally not supposed to have it. So it was really cool using it on like cannonballs and Bowser. Like that was really cool. The metal cap, that one pretty much worked as I thought it would. I would just prevent damage, could walk through fire and stuff. Pretty much knew what I was going to get into with that. But the wing cap, I was surprised. I felt like I would just be using it all the time, every time. But not really. There are some stars where, yeah, it came in handy. It made it either easier or quicker or whatever, but I felt like I didn't use it as much as I thought I would. But it's been really cool, and I can't wait to try out the basement. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the basement.